Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, words of my brethren all around the world watching this video. I hope you're having a great day today as you're tuning in. Make sure you do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely will not be disappointed. Now, it's crazy to me because I was just going through my video archives and seeing if I made a video about this young man, and I'm very surprised that he's fought 13 times. He's knocked out 13 opponents, and this is the first time I'm making a video about him. So first of all, I want to say I'm extremely sorry, and I want to repent, and I want to say I'm wrong for not making a video about this young stud of a fighter earlier. But we're going to talk about Mr. Vergil Ortiz, one of the best prospects in all of boxing, and particularly one of the best prospects in all of American boxing. Now, in American boxing, when we talk about the hyped up American boxing prospects at the moment, we talk about guys like Teofimo Lopez, guys like Devin Haney, guys like Shakur Stevenson, guys like Ryan Garcia, even Carlos Balderas. But sometimes Vergil Ortiz gets lost in the shuffle. But no longer on True School Sports will he get lost in the shuffle, because after what I saw this weekend against, a guy, Mauricio Herrera, who's been in there with some of the best fighters in the world, guys like, your Danny Garcias of the world, just top names. And he's beaten them or given a good account of himself in almost every fight. A lot of notable names have stepped in that ring with Mauricio Herrera. Guys like Saddam Ali, Danny Garcia, Benavidez, Jose Benavidez, that is, Hank Lundy, Frankie Gomez. A lot of guys have been in that ring, in that boxing ring with Mauricio Herrera, and he's a very awkward fighter. He's one of those cagey, awkward veterans. And he knows how to, you could beat Mauricio Herrera, but odds are you're not going to look good. It's hard to look good against Mauricio Herrera. And this kid, Vergil Ortiz, it took him three rounds, third round stoppage. He's getting Mauricio Herrera out of there. And it was just an absolutely exceptional performance. He showed just incredible understanding for distance, incredible understanding for timing, proper spacing on his punches, and it was that understanding. It was the intelligent aggression of Vergil Ortiz that allowed him to find that straight right hand, the left hooks that put this guy out. And he's never been stopped before. When we talk about Mauricio Herrera, we're talking about a man who's never been stopped before, ever, like in any fight. Yeah, he's lost, 9 fights now? He's, 24-9 now? And just look at some of the names he's fought in his career. We're talking about guys like Saddam Ali, Jesus Soto Karass, Pablo Cesar Cano, Frankie Gomez, Hank Lundy, Jose Benavidez, Danny Garcia, Mike Alvarado, Ruslan Provodnikov. And this one, a young Ruslan Provodnikov that is too. So he's been in there with some punchers, some devastating punchers. And I know he's not the Herrera from back then, and we know that he's taking some beatings, and he's not quite what he was. He's a faded version of himself, and even by his own admission, he said himself, like, look, I knew this day would come where I would get knocked out by a prospect, and there it is, man. So Vergil Ortiz at 21 years old just makes a statement. And I would even venture to say, if we're talking about in terms of quality of opposition and the way in which you beat them, there is not a prospect in all of American boxing, all the hyped up ones, like Devin Haney, like Ryan Garcia, like Shakur Stevenson, like Carlos Balderas, like Teofimo Lopez, that none of those guys have beaten anybody like Mauricio Herrera. And then it's not the fact that he just beat Mauricio Herrera, but it's the way he beat him. 3 rounds to dissect Mauricio Herrera in 3 rounds, the way he did. Just absolutely impressive by Vergil Ortiz. And that begs the question, he's 13 fights into his career now. He's someone that people are pegging to be the next world champion. Some people have even went as far as to say that this guy right here is the next Mexican-American boxing superstar, which, is a big claim. It's a big thing to ask, too, because, that's a very lucrative position to be in. But if he fills those shoes, he's going to do quite well for himself. But Vergil Ortiz, this fight with Herrera was at 147, but after the fight, he expressed his desire to actually go back down to 140 and go get a world title. Now, I'll read you guys what he said, and we will dissect from there. Here's what he said in regards to his performance against Herrera and what he wants for his career moving forward. These are pretty long quotes, so please bear with me. He said, I quote, I'm actually pretty proud of this fight. If you know me and have kept up with my fights, I'm usually not satisfied with my performance. I just want to tell you all, I hope you are too, I am very satisfied with my performance tonight. Everyone thinks that I don't have all that experience just because I'm 12-0. Well, now I'm 13-0. People don't realize I work in the gym every day. I spar world champions all the time. I'm not one that goes to the world champions and says, hey, can we spar? They come up to me, and that's the difference between me and other prospects. He was keeping his left hand down the whole time, and I knew I was fast enough to capitalize on that. Other than that, I had the fight figured out after the first round. I want to go back down to 140 and get that world title. There's plenty of champions that I believe I can take on right now, and I hope after this performance, everyone believes in that. If they tell me, hey, Vergil, fight in a world title fight in 2 weeks, I'll take it right now. So, bold words from Vergil Ortiz. You know, and this kid is special, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I'm not gonna bullshit you guys and sit here and act like I've been paying the most attention to Vergil Ortiz because he's even slipped under my radar. I mean, you want to know how underrated Vergil Ortiz is? Let me tell you how underrated Vergil Ortiz is. Before this video, I clicked play and started talking on this video. I wanted to go see if he had a Wikipedia page. Vergil Ortiz doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, for crying out loud. So that's how underrated he is when we talk about him in the landscape of boxing. So he's definitely, you know, on the come up, making a name for himself. But I mean, listen, I don't give a shit what stage of your career you're at. If you're stopping Mauricio Herrera in the 3rd round, you can go fight for world titles. And you know, Vergil Ortiz is a Dallas native. I did see recently that he has expressed a desire to make a big Dallas title fight with Maurice Hooker, who's also from Dallas and is a world champion in 140. So you have that. You know, I'm not gonna lie, man. Maurice Hooker is good. He just came a long way, but from what I saw, Vergil Ortiz, he might just be the most talented prospect out there. I mean, obviously, you guys know I'm very talented. I'm very high on Teofimo Lopez, and I'm gonna hold true to that. You know, I think Teofimo Lopez is the goods. He can fight going backwards. He can fight going forward. He's a great counterpuncher. I think he reminds me of a lesser version of Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. But this kid Vergil Ortiz, man, I think he's gonna give all these American prospects, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, he's gonna give them all a run for their money. And the hype is real. I mean, the hype is definitely real. He fights well beyond his years. He's definitely someone that I believe can go win a world title in his next fight, and that's a big statement from him, and that's a big claim for me because, you know, he's 21 years old. He's younger than I am, and I think he's ready to fight for a world title right now. Now, you know, and honestly, in a fight against Maurice Hooker, I'd favor him. You know, Maurice Hooker's fought fighters who are less skilled than Vergil Ortiz and have been knocked down, and he's been put in some serious trouble. You know, he won life and death with the likes of Terry Flanagan. So why wouldn't Vergil Ortiz, this kid who just utterly destroyed, killed, embarrassed, and probably beat into retirement Mauricio Herrera? But why wouldn't I favor him against Maurice Hooker? But that's a fight I like to see, and you know, I've been hearing a lot of great things from him. You know, boxing fans about Vergil Ortiz in my comment section. And he does look like one of those special talents in boxing where you look at him and you say, wow, that guy's going to go on to do some great things. And, you know, overall, man, I'm impressed. Like, I'm just thoroughly impressed with him. And I think if anybody says to me, Brennan, that kid Vergil Ortiz is the best prospect in boxing, better than Teofimo, better than Devin Haney, better than Shakur Stevenson, better than Carlos Balderas, I mean, I'll have my disagreements with you, but I'm not going to get mad at you. Vergil Ortiz is the real deal, and I want to see him in a world title fight next. So, sorry, Vergil, that it took me so long to get to a video of you out there, but, you know, you definitely earned it, man, and from now on, you will be in the True School Sports rotation of fighters we cover on this channel. So, there you have it, man. Vergil Ortiz, those were just my little 2 cents on his fight with Mauricio Herrera this week. And just his ambitions to fight for a world title in his next fight. So you guys let me know in the comments what you think about Vergil Ortiz. You know, right now, as it stands, I think he's the most underrated prospect in America. Even with, you know, because it took me this long to make a video about him. He don't have a Wikipedia page, so they gotta fix that for Vergil Ortiz. But you guys can leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.